All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. The following video will contain spoilers from the Arrow episode Bratva. So, if you don't want anything spoiled or ruined for you, stop watching now. Also, this video will most definitely be containing language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised. If you have problems with four-letter words, stop watching now. For everybody still brave enough to be here, hey guys, I'm Dave. Darker than Damien, more savage than Vandal, and this is the Arrow Roast. You guys want to know why I'm doing what I do and what lines I will and will not cross? Check out my past video, Arrow Roast the Rules. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, sorry it took a little longer than expected to get this video up, guys. Today ran a little bit longer than I anticipated, but the cool thing is I had lunch with a lovely lady and her mom, and I don't get to do that every day, so cut me a little slack. I also went to go see the Lego Batman movie. You can go check out my new type of review video up. It was uploaded before this one. It's half spoiler filled and half spoiler free. I'm trying something a little new to try to give everybody that wants to know my opinion what's going on with the movie without necessarily giving everything away at the front door. So, without further ado, you guys realize I had to watch Arrow a second time this week to get all the information I needed to get for this video, right? That's what I try to do for my Arrow roasts. And I appreciate you guys knocking on my door to try to get this stuff going. I do. But I try to give myself an extra day or two to try to come up with some material. And I really needed to with this episode because I can't believe I'm saying this, but this episode was one of the most fucking boring episodes of the season. And the entire thing was to try to find a runaway nuke. Again, runaway nuke and boring should not be part of the same fucking descriptor, but somehow it's exactly what happened. How did this happen? I don't know. Ask fucking Mark and Wendy. Anyway, okay. First thing we do, we get into a fucking flashback. 5 years ago, Oliver and Talia hooded up. They're taking out some low-life drug dealers for target practice. Oliver's looking pretty good at this point. He's actually kicking ass, taking names, and Talia tries to shoot him in the back. He manages to catch the arrow, and she's teaching a life lesson that, hey, you embrace the darkness, then you'll be able to see perfectly. Yeah, that's kind of telling me, watch your fucking back, Ollie. You know, any member of the Al Ghul family, go in with a grain of salt, okay? Just my thoughts, just my opinion, you know. Anyway, so we then flash forward to modern time where our favorite mayor is getting ready for a press conference. Susan Williams, the reporter, comes in, busting chops, as well as so does Quentin Lance. He's back from rehab, wants to get back on the job. Both remind Ollie that he's got shit to do. Thea, the world's most interesting assistant, not there because she's taking care of some other shit, so at least she got a mention there. I mean, come on, sorry. A fucking superhero who is your sister is your goddamn secretary. Right. You know, I'm not misogynist at all. Anyway, the press conference is to thank Adrian for getting John Diggle out of there. So now we got the band back together, as it were. But just when that happens, news gets broken that General Walker, the asshat that set John up in the first place, not only escaped with his men, but took the stolen fucking nuke with him. So now, Team Arrow is trying to track down this guy, and the trail leads to Russia. It looks like they're going to go into Russia, and they're going to sell to Markovian terrorists. Not good. So, it's up to the majority of Team Arrow to go to Russia, including... Oh, by the way. See, as it was established last episode, we found out more about the true identity of the mysterious Tina. And you know what? I don't give a flying fuck if Mark and Wendy are trying to push this counterfeit biatch's real name is Dinah Drake. No, 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 no. There's only one Dinah Drake, and she was played by Alex Kingston, who was Laurel's fucking mother, okay? I don't care what bullshit you're trying to push on us. I'm not swallowing your poison. I'm not drinking your goddamn tainted Kool-Aid, Mark. Fuck you, and fuck your entire network if you think that's what I'm going to do. No, 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 no. So, to be faithful, I'm going to instead be referring to her either as fake-ass bitch, loudmouth bitch, fake-ass canary, faux black canary, or simply, as Dashi would say, Tina. So, that's established. So, I'm not calling the bitch Dinah. She can go blow her fucking horn anywhere else, okay? Anyway, so, it's up to most of the team to end up going, but they decide, well, Quentin's trying to get his shit back together, so he's going to need a little help. So, to send a little tough love and to keep an international incident from happening, we have our favorite asshole, Renee, aka Wild Dog, staying behind to try to help Quentin out to prep him for the interview he's going to be setting up with Susan. So, that's our little side mission there. So we got Wild Dog and Booze Hound. Ain't that a bitch? So, I mean, he tries to help in the best way he can, but Renee's an asshole, and that's just the part of the things he's going to do. He asks the tough questions. He asks questions about Laurel. He asks about drinking. He asks about, how do you feel about working with Damien Dark? And he pushes all the fucking buttons to light Quentin up like a pinball machine. And at one point he gets so pissed off he ends up getting out of there. So, while this drama's happening, prepare yourself for a brand new level of bullshit, guys. See, we keep having flashbacks back to Russia and whatnot, and we have even a little opening that happened in Season 2. Season 2, Oliver tried to contact a guy that was a contact for the Bratva here in the States. He was asking for information, and the way it works is, you do a favor for them, they do a favor for you. But the thing that Alexei wanted to try to get Oliver to do, he wasn't having any part of it. Oliver refused, pretty much got cut off of the Bratva, and Slade Wilson killed the dude. Well, his old buddy Anatoly is not very happy about that when they get to Russia. Oh, by the way, prepare yourself for a brand new fucking level of bullshit here. Okay, so they end up flying over to Russia, and of course FeFe has to stick her goddamn nose in it. Now here's the funny thing. Within this whole episode, she does a complete fucking 180. Okay? I'll get to that. I mean, Little Miss Overwatch, she says that the main reason she's going to Russia is she wants to make sure that another Havenrock doesn't happen. That's fine. As a matter of fact, I felt so inspired, and this is part of the reason why I had a little time. I decided maybe I've been a little too hard on FeFe. Maybe I need to show her a little musical love. And since she's starting to hop around the globe, I wrote a song about it. Now, I may not be like Dashi and spit off some, improvised lines, like a battle. But I can do parodies, so I'm going to do it a la cappella here, guys. So I wrote a song about it. I want to hear it go. Okay. Oh, she dropped a nuke on Havenrock so she could save Star City. She punched Siren in the face cause she didn't feel pretty. She's flying off to Russia just so she can save the day. Tell me where in the world is motherfucking FeFe? Where in the world is motherfucking FeFe? Where in the world is motherfucking FeFe? You guys are going to rewind that back just so you can play that damn song again, aren't you? Yeah, go ahead. Memorize it. Play it back if you know the words. Anyway, so, most of the new Team Arrow decides to go to Russia to try to stop this stuff. Now, they never name it, but the city they fly to in Russia is the Russian sister city to Star City. Now, guys, I may not be up on everything in the comics. I've never heard of this bullshit. if there is a sister city to Star City in Russia, please give me some heads up. I mean, I know there's stars and shit on the, formerly Soviet Union flag, so I could be missing something. But another absolute level of bullshit. Tina and Diggle are talking about, I never thought I'd be joining to stop a sale of a nuclear weapon in Russia. And John casually mentions, a year ago I wouldn't have thought I'd been dealing with aliens. And she's like, aliens? Really? Time out! Hold the fuck on! Okay? Now, in the Invasion crossover, there were fuck tons, metric fuck tons, of Dominator ships and motherships over every major city on Earth. This couldn't be hidden. This could not be covered up. There were ground troops all around the fucking planet. Everyone on Earth now knows that aliens are real. We've encountered them. There is no longer reason for doubt unless you were in a fucking coma. Despite the retconning of Tina into this fucking reality, it's like she had no clue. Come to think of it, it's almost as if when the invasion happened, she didn't exist. It's like her existence wasn't real or anything. Fucking butt. Oh, this is just... Okay, guys, when you're establishing an expanded DCU like that, and you have a major crossover that does encounter the world, and it's that public, their fucking motherships were on television, for Christ's sake. You can't... No plausible deniability here anymore. She wasn't fucking Rick waking up out of the coma in The Walking Dead. This fucking bitch has supposedly been active for 3 years. She doesn't have that excuse. No. None. So, go fuck yourself trying to feed us that shit. Anyway, Anatoly meets Oliver at the airport, slugs him in the face, and pretty much says, you burned some bridges, you ain't welcome here. Of course, Oliver is told pretty much, get out of town. Is he going to do it? Fuck no. Which is kind of funny, because he starts becoming stubborn again. Like a badger. In fact, when they start operating undercover in Russia, virtually everyone, with the exception of Ragman, but he kind of has an excuse, doesn't put on their costumes. This is fucking fantastic. He reinvigorates the life of his black hockey mask and black outfit. The Night Badger returns! Hear his mighty roar! Oh, but it gets even better. But I'll get to that. So, they go to a Russian Argus safe house. FeFe's trying to set shit up. Oliver's trying to work with Anatoly to get stuff going on. A lot of bad words are exchanged. More shit, blah, blah, blah. But Anatoly is saying, look, I don't care what happened with Gregor. I'm just squaring shit just by talking with you. So, Oliver doesn't want to become a thug again. We have more flashbacks of where he's actually taking out a guy that was in the journal's name that his father gave him. The guy's name was in the journal the father gave him, and he was a drug dealer that was peddling vertigo there as well as in Russia. So the flashback has, Oliver and Talia kicking ass, taking names, taking the dude out and saying, you have failed Starling City. So we're starting to see a bit of the hood coming out. So, not bad and a little satisfying, but the son of a bitch shot him 3 times in the shoulder. Not the heart, in the shoulder. Am I supposed to be lethal? Diggle, please. Anyway, so they're trying to track information down. That doesn't quite work. FeFe, with the help of Tina, figures out that Walker's probably using a burner phone. They find the communications company that's compatible with it and find that there's one dude that could get the information to get into the network. Hacking would take too long. She's going to get the passcode. So she gets Rory and Curtis to dress up as tough guys. She starts putting on her best Black Widow outfit and goes this fancy little swanky dinner thing trying to be all dangerous and shit, and essentially blackmails a dude that works at the company for the passcode saying, look, I've got dirt on you. You dropped some interesting shit here. What happens if I tell the right people? So she's fucking blackmailing people. I swear to God. FeFe, I have seen less set up for a villain with Lex Luthor in Smallville, okay? You're not fooling me, okay? The whole thing you got from Helix and the Pandora file, that's some major league shit. And we're starting to see you do that. Rory even starts to question it a bit. I mean, he's wondering how far she's going to start slipping. He's trying to do the whole with great power comes great responsibility speech to her, but she's coming off excusing everything and says sometimes you got to fight fire with a fire. So she's getting her hands dirty. And Rory's the only one that's questioning it, as well as the only one that's really concerned about it. So they managed to find the information, and they got Walker traced down to a church. Rory's covering the civilians. You got fake-ass Black Canary in the back, watching the back door. And here comes Night Badger. But John Diggle's got the frickin' mask and outfit on too. So it's become Team Night Badger. So, I don't know. Let's call John's version of this Honey Pot. Because, Honey Badgers, Honey Pot, why not? Okay. I'm sure he's trying to get in there. Anyway, so those two start going in there. It's a proximity alarm. The general knows it's a fucking trap. A firefight ensues. The civilians manage to get out. Here comes Tina. Sonic screams, blasts one guy. Most of the people get away, but now they've got one of the men to try to interrogate. Got him tied and blindfolded back at the Argus safe house. Oliver's trying to threaten the dude to reenact the scene from Lethal Weapon with the car battery, and he's trying to soften him up. Diggle is getting really impatient. I mean, Walker set him up. He doesn't want to give any kind of patience here, so he's trying to push forward. More bullshit goes down. More stuff cuts back to Renee and Quentin, but they're finally trying to get shit patched up. Eventually, Quentin manages to get off his ass and figure, okay, you were trying to help. I shouldn't have snapped at you. So they start working on it a little bit. They finally go ahead and they're getting ready to do the interview, so that's going on. Meanwhile, back to it. Rory confronts FeFe. Oliver finds out. And all of a sudden, we start to hear bloody murder. John is working the captive over like a speed bag. He's pounding them fucking bloody and don't even care. It takes Oliver to stop him, and this was a perfect opportunity to get John to stop to say, Diggle, please! Wasted opportunity, fuckers. How many videos have I been putting Diggle, please in there? It's a hashtag, for fuck's sake. Look on Twitter. You could have seen it. But you don't want to give any credit to me. Yeah, you stubborn assholes. Anyway, they damn near beat the dude to a pulp, and, John ends up getting calmed down or whatnot. At one point, Curtis is trying to work with Tina to work on how her sonic scream could go. She manages to, 183 decibels, blast a vase, but it could have been better. Wow, if only you knew somebody that had the power to destroy an entire fucking building. I don't know, maybe you know where she is, like an Argus safe house or something. Just say it. Just say it. So, eventually, Oliver goes back to Anatoly, decides to go ahead and scratch his ass so he can get his back scratched too. Goes to muscle out competing business. Once again, dressed as Team Night Badger, he and Tina. They kick ass, take names, break fingers. So now that the debt is done, Tina tries to confront Oliver a little bit about being the thug and whatnot, and he's all, I didn't want to live this life again. Well, shut the fuck up, dude. Anyway, meanwhile, eventually we get Anatoly coming back to the safe house with a small army of Bratva. They've located Walker, and they're going in together to go get him. So, they got the location of the transaction. Team goes in. Ragman's kicking ass, taking names. Diggle, Oliver, and Tina are going in as Team Night Badger. And while they're stopping the Markovians driving away, Tina takes her frickin' mask off, blasting with a sonic scream, knocks it over. Find out the bomb's not there. What the hell's going on? Diggle confronts Walker and is about to try to kill him. But Walker is talking to him, and he's daring him to kill the dude. And thankfully, Diggle holds back. They eventually trail the radiation to find where the bomb is, and it's FeFe and Ragman. FeFe tries to disarm it, but every time she tries, the countdown speeds up. So now she's thinking, okay, I ain't got much time. Maybe I can put it on the plane and fly it to a less populated area. These are trigger words for Rory. He's like, what, you mean like Havenrock? You know, and she's like, this isn't the right time to bring that up. He's like, no, this is exactly the right fucking time. You know, he doesn't say fucking, but I'm pretty sure he wanted to. And, you know, she's finally being confronted about this. Okay, this is what I was talking about. This bottle blonde bomber said she didn't want to create another Havenrock. But I'll tell you something. Emily, I like you as an actress. You're okay. I was okay with your portrayal in here. It's not necessarily your fault with the way things are written. It's not necessarily your fault that you make Mark's dick hard and he turned you into the star of the show. But I tell you what, when you start going supervillain, when you start going back to your hacker roots, and when you go from trying to stop another Havenrock from happening to making that your go-to move. See, I'm not a misogynist. I have nothing against women. I have the greatest respect for women. Women are just as capable as men. Women have a higher pain tolerance. Women take a lot of bullshit. I think the glass ceiling is bullshit. I think women should get equal pay for equal work compared to a man. With that said, with the steps that the character Felicity Smoke is taking, I'm sorry. Felicity Smoke is a fucking cunt. Okay? Not even apologizing. A royal fucking cunt. Her Majesty, Queen of the Cunts. Okay. But anyway, Rory decides that, okay, if the rags protected them in Havenrock, maybe he can wrap it around and stop the whole blast. So he's getting ready to do the sacrifice thing. FeFe gets the fuck out of there. Oliver gets there just in time to see the fucking thing go off. All we see left is a bunch of burned rags. Rory's cooked up. Eventually, they have a little celebration with the crew in Russia with Anatoly. They try vodka. Most of them can't handle it. Tina, of course, and like she can drink people under the table. They end up eventually going back to Star City. And unfortunately, there's some problems. See, Rory, the one guy who survived Havenrock, the guy that was avenging people that died, the one guy that reminded FeFe not to make another fucking Havenrock, the rag suit no longer works. It's no longer sentient, it's no longer protecting, it doesn't seem to function with him. So it's kind of weird. It's like the one person, the one force that could have stopped her, the one force that was questioning her motives and her going all dark side and shit, conveniently got taken out of the picture. It's like she's a super genius or something that just happens to be playing the role of a ditzy blonde. Huh. Anyway, so Quentin's interview goes fine. Renee actually reveals that he used to be a punk kid that Quentin set straight a while ago, so there was a touching moment where Renee was trying to give back, so that was okay. And Susan, the interview goes fine. Everything's kind of back to normal. Things are trying to get shuffled back again with Oliver. There's another flashback where apparently Gregor beat the living shit out of Anatoly, and now what Oliver's going to do is going to get back for Anatoly to Gregor. And then we get back to modern time. Susan Williams talked to a reporter friend, found out that, yeah, Oliver was in Russia with the Bratva, identified Bratva, and also happened to find out that the Hood, aka the Green Arrow, was in Russia at the same time. She put two and two together. This bitch has knowledge she should not have, especially with the way he likes to start snapping necks. Ah! So, who knows what's going to happen there. Next week, we're supposed to have an episode that's going back into Wild Dog's past. Apparently, we're going to get a little going into that and see his origin story, as it were, involving gangs and whatnot. So, hopefully, it'll be a bit more interesting and just watchable than this one. I mean, like I said, I had to work to make this one interesting, guys. I really did. I had to put the work in. But I did what I could. So, What do you guys think of my little rundown here? Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Pass this bad boy around. And, fuck it. I feel in a musical mood. Let's play us out, okay? Alright. Oh, she dropped a nuke on Havenrock so she could save Star City. She punched Black Siren in the face so she didn't feel that pretty. Shit. Okay, what's the other part? Oh, yeah. She flew it off to Russia so she could save the day. Tell me where in the world is motherfucking FeFe? Where in the world is motherfucking FeFe? Come on! Where in the world is motherfucking FeFe? Where in the world is motherfucking FeFe?